here we are. Let's see if we're actually recording, because I have something covering it. We are, indeed. In the Nabreus Deadlands, we're going to do this and the Necrohol of Nabudis, the two enemies here. The first one is in Slumbermead. It has a simple 40% chance of spawning, unfortunately. Let me make sure I'm looking at the right thing. I am. Slightly confused, but that's okay. But anyway, it spawns in the Slumbermead in the southeasternmost section. So it should theoretically spawn. Those are just fish while I'm looking at them. Should theoretically spawn if it spawns over here. In fact, it did spawn over here. Now, it is possible to steal a mage's ring from this. Or a sage's ring, sorry, not mage's ring. This enemy is not a threat in any way, shape, or form. It's probably one of the easier ones you'll fight here. Again, stealing from these enemies is tedious. I don't need to steal from this one, it's just a sage's ring, but a sage's ring is still good nonetheless if I get it, but I didn't, so. Unfortunate. Go ahead and show you where we are. Southeasternmost section of Slumbermead. 40% chance to spawn, you don't do anything special to get it to spawn, just exist. However, we'll make our way this way, I don't want to fight that elemental. Our next rare game is in the Necrohol of Nabudis, and it's going to be a bit of an interesting one to do. And we'll talk about it when we get there, but first we must get there. Alright, here we are, roughly. The hunt will spawn within the Hall of the Ivory Covenant. However, it requires a rather specific circumstance to happen. A dark elemental must be within, or in front of the door to the Cloister of Reason, which is where we fought a boss in order to get to Chaos. Ignore the exploding ice crystals. Now the dark element should, if it is here at all, it's back by me, should be to the north side. I believe is how this works. Go ahead, just kill this thing. I thought it's up here anyway. Maybe there's a specific spawn requirement for that as well. Who bloody knows? Ow. I'm not floating anymore. Trigger all of the traps. I don't care. Alright, well apparently we need to figure out how to spawn a dark elemental within this area. It may just be random chance that causes it to spawn. Given it's an elemental, this seems extremely likely case scenario. That's just an oversoul. If you kill 6 oversouls, a non-trophy rare game is capable of spawning. But regardless, I apparently need to figure out how to spawn a dark elemental. Ow. That was rather painful. I should stop stepping on traps, but that's okay. Excuse me, camera. We're gonna do one quick pass through here. Ow. And see if a dark elemental has spawned in the area. If it has, we can do this. If it hasn't, then we can't, obviously. Step on all of the traps along the way, because I'm lazy. There does not appear to be a dark elemental in this area, so I'm gonna try and get that to spawn and update you on how this occurs. Although I think it's just random chance upon entering the area, but either way, I'll be right back. Alrighty, here we are. We've managed to get it to spawn. Well, the dark elemental anyway. It'll be passive, obviously, so of course we must aggro it. In order to aggro it, we must cast some form of magic nearby. So we've aggroed it, now we're gonna run this way. Cause it to slowly float in a southward direction. There's another enemy over here, unfortunately, but oh, it's a back enemy. We don't care. Continue drawing its ire this way until it's in front of this door. Please make your way over here. So at this point, we should have now spawned our rare game, which is right there, in fact. There it is. So of course we do have to still deal with the dark elemental, but that's okay. Vorres, if I recall, has something to steal of value. Yes, it has soul powder, which is an item required for making tornazel. You might notice a pattern here. It's a very, 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 very low chance of actually successfully stealing it. However, you should probably try to steal it. Just on a general, you know, this is a good thing to do and to tell people to do, you should probably try to steal the item from it. Also, it knows a null just like every other enemy of its type, so be prepared for it to steal all of your MP all of the time. There is, of course, still the Dark Elemental to deal with, so. But regardless, it's not too bad. If you can handle the enemies in this area easily, you can handle this fight easily. It does have the ability to instantaneously kill people via death. So do bear that in mind, I suppose, but still. I don't think we're going to be able to steal from this before it dies. Also knows Doom. It knows many bad things, but that's okay. Because we're going to continue trying to steal from this until it happens to give us what we desire, which is highly unlikely. Alright, there's no targets because it's teleporting. I hate how that works, but that's okay. Nello is silenced for some reason. Fran is also silenced, and she's the only other one that can actually remove that from people. Or who has a gambit set up to remove it anyway. Well, it died before we could get it, but that's okay. Again, it has soul powder. You should probably steal it if possible, but you know, no huge deal if you can't. It just means you'll have to get Turnacell ingredients in a slightly more difficult manner, but that's okay. At least for me. Maybe not for you. Maybe you want to try your hand at stealing the 6% drop. Goodbye, Fran. Anyway, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. See you for the next one. Don't know what my voice did there.